Yo. Hey, Carla. Yo, there you are. What's up? So they did it, huh? In your state. Once California goes, usually everything goes, right? Hey, Tracy, Michael, how's it going, buddy? I've seen you in some of Tommy's live streams. It's great to see you, my friend. The bath is always a great place to be. Hey, Carla.
Hey kid, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, so they shut it down, huh?
Yeah, yeah. What did I just say?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just got let me see if I can well, I can post the link, I guess. Hold on for a second. Can you still hear me if I'm
Yeah.
here?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, I'm sliding over to post the link in the chat. If anybody wants to look at it, it is the Safer at Home order. So let me real quick. I just wanted to read you my message to Tim. Um, this is what I'm dealing with here. So we are. This is me telling him I sent him this thing from the Chicago Tribune, and it says we are on complete shutdown as of tomorrow. And he said, "Well, I'm driving to Tennessee to get my boat motor in the morning." I said, "Well, that's wonderful. Our state is shut down tomorrow. Yeah, we'll all be dead in a few weeks anyway. Ha ha." I said, seriously, fucking quit. I'm not talking about anybody dying. I'm just concerned about losing the electricity, Tim, especially if you're going to be gone. Why slash how is the power going out, Carla? Explain that to me. Stores are open, gas stations are open, hospitals are open. Tim, I love you. I don't know why or how. You're the one that told me how serious it would be if they ever stopped an outage. You're coming home tomorrow and you don't know if you're going back. Why is that? We're coming up on tornado season. I don't know why I'm concerned about it, other than the fact that everything that I've talked about has come true. Okay, well, listen, if if you think this is a big deal, then don't say it is a big deal. Fear is getting the best of you. That's what he says. I guess I feel like it's just better to have something and not need it than to need something and not have it and not be able to get it because it's too fucking late. I was thinking about just getting one myself and putting it on my credit card since it doesn't seem to be a priority. He says, well, his friend Craig has two in his pole barn that are still in the box, and he said that he could use them at any time. I said, well, you can't go over there to get them because tomorrow we're on a complete lockdown, and you'll be in Tennessee buying your fucking boat motor. And he says, Carla, we can go to the store, we can go to the pharmacy, we can walk our dog. Interstates and roads are all open. Essential businesses are still open. People will be coming and going to work. Vehicles will be traveling everywhere. No, Tim, if you're not going to work at one of these essential businesses, you're not supposed to be on the fucking road. So, so
Uh,
there's that.
honestly, he may have to pull in for some gas somewhere and no one's there,
Yeah, yeah.
you know.
So
It,
he's
it it could be that he gets like 400 miles away on one tank full of gas and that's it.
yeah, yeah. So I'm not I don't know. I don't know what the fuck to do here, Christian. I'm we were just talking about this and what did I say? They're gonna shut us down. If they shut down California, then we're gonna be next because I live in the biggest liberal state in the country aside from California, so
So let me ask you this. So Tim's not going to be there over the next couple of days?
He's driving to Tennessee in the morning. He's going to leave at about 4 o'clock in the morning. It takes 4.5 hours to get there and 4.5 hours to get back. He's just going to have him throw it on the truck and then come back. So he's not taking his boat down there. He's just going to pick up this
So
$12,000 motor plus all the controls and all kinds of other shit. And it's going to come out to about $20,000. Not that we don't have the money, but we can't spend $500 to $1,000 to get a fucking generator to make sure that we have lights or heat or we can charge our phones or, I don't know, dude.
Listen to this. Fokker says, "What the F? Insane. I'm getting more famous by the minute. All the media whores covering and bashing me, apparently blowing up on Reddit as well." So
really?
that whole thing with Fokker and his place is just unbelievable. And he's gonna he's gonna pop in on the chat.
Okay,
I mean,
cool.
on the Zoom here.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I shared that out with everybody. That was pretty awesome. That was amazing. So.
Also, Laurel said that. Listen to this one. The next door neighbor is filming 2 delivery people. She put a table up in front of her, and she's bullying the delivery people, saying, "Don't get near me. Put it on the table. No joke." Same jerk that asked me not to sing outside at 5:30 p.m. I told her to go back in her glass house and put away her stones. So she is a community policer. They hire them near me. It's just it's strange witnessing what people are doing at this point. It's crazy.
These fucking NPCs. And he just sent me this message. "I'm taking your phone and shutting off your internet, woman. Geez, you're getting a little crazy with this shit, don't you think?"
Who said that, Tim?
This is Tim, yeah. "Gas stations are still open, Carla. Cops are going to stop every car they see. Are you losing your mind?" What the fuck? He's never said anything like that to me before. Losing my mind? Look what's happening around us, Christian.
Well, listen. He's leaving for a couple of days, and you're gonna be in the house, right? Are you? How far are you from your son's place?
Oh, an hour and a half.
I mean, I don't know that I'd want to be there just by myself. Is there once he leaves, or can you tell him once you leave, I'm actually gonna head down to his place and be there?
Yeah, I'd have to take the dog with me, and my son has 3 huge dogs, and they fight, so I would have to keep Poco in the kennel. But yeah, I could do that. If I did, it would probably be the last straw for this relationship, though, because it's been so fucking shady for so long, so shaky. It just gets worse every day, and especially with this coronavirus stuff,
Yeah, I honestly, I don't want to be anywhere that my wife is not at this moment.
Yeah. Well, I love him with my whole heart. He's an incredible, beautiful man, but you see what's happening. This is not him. The way he's talking to me in these text messages, that's not the man that I know. It's not the man that I love. It's like he's taken another download, another update. Something is happening here, and it's disturbing me on every level. This is a man who I've never had to explain myself for anything that I've ever done. I don't have to ask him to borrow money. I don't, or ask him to buy something for the house. I don't do it without asking him. But if I say, "Honey, I need to get this for the house," he says, "Of course."
Yeah.
And the biggest thing, the thing that matters the most, that I've been talking about for weeks, he doesn't want any part of it. And I have spent, of course I ask him first, but I've spent thousands of dollars on the house for things that we need. And now I need $500 to $1,000, and he doesn't want to get it. And now it's just the fucking principle of the thing with him. You know what I'm saying? He wants to be right instead of being kind or being sensible.
He wants all this to return to like some kind of normal, and like
Right.
thinking that maybe his actions of ignoring all this stuff is going to somehow just keep the boat afloat,
Right, right.
you know?
Just like last night when I told him, what if this shit happens with your work? Did I, it's like, okay, when I say shit like that, um, am I using the words? Am I in fact making this shit happen? Um, I'm not saying that I have magical fucking powers, but doesn't it feel like it more and more, Christian? Like we're given the answers before the questions even asked.
Yeah.
You know, this thing with his job, and now this thing with this shutdown. I just got done saying it 20 minutes ago. Next thing you know, our fucking state's going to be shut down. We're going to be the next ones to get shut down. And we were the next ones to get shut down. And now, I'm talking about tornadoes, or, I'm just trying to give him any kind of fucking scenario about what could happen for them to shut our shit down, our electric. And, I feel like I shouldn't even say it out loud. Maybe we'll have a tornado tomorrow, but, you know, why would it get shut down? Because this is bigger than he can even imagine. It's bigger than any of us can even imagine.
I mean,
But
is there like um aside from this boat and the motor and everything like that, would just the fact that like you're in a state where you don't want him to leave, that there's protection stuff that you talked about before about your place and
yeah, yeah,
alarms going off and
yeah. Being able to defend myself and
yeah, I mean, can you appeal to his like love of you in a way that would be like, forget the motor. I'm all for the motor at this point. When
yeah,
things return, I'm down for you taking a trip to Tennessee, but right at this moment, can you please postpone the trip and be
yeah,
with me during this period because I'm frightened for
right,
safety.
right.
And
Um,
and see what he
I
says to
don't
that. I mean,
know. I've never seen him like this, Christian. And I'm afraid if he says no, then I'm going to tell him I'm packing my fucking shit and I'm leaving and I won't come back. And I don't
well,
know
you
if
have
that.
to. You have to if you feel like you're not safe in that neighborhood, then you need to get to your son's place, and you'll figure it out with the dogs, even if you have to have a dog locked up in a room or something at the house or whatever. But like you gotta get out of there and be with people that you feel safe around.
Yeah. Um,
So let him make his decision, make an appeal to him, and say, listen, I would really hope that you would not go and maybe just postpone this. I'm not against the motor. I'm not against you spending your own money the way you want to. I just want you to be with me here,
yeah.
during this.
Um, I'm afraid I'm not going to like his answer. Just like I don't like his fucking answers that he gave me in text message. He's never talked to me like this ever. We have an incredible relationship. He's been looking at me like a crazy person for a long time, but he's never expressed it. Come on, get in here. He's never expressed it verbally to me. I know when he looks at me like he feels sorry for me when I start talking about all of these things that I have been seeing coming to fruition over and over and over again. Things that I've talked to him about before, and then it happens, Christian.
Yeah.
Things that I've warned him about, things that we see on the news, things that, these conspiracy theories that I've been talking about for 20 years now. Everybody's talking about them on the internet. People that said I was crazy for 20 fucking years, and now everybody is a, you know, and he, he looks at me like I'm a nutcase, and but he never says it out loud. He looks at me like I'm a little kid, and he feels sorry for me, or I'm a dog with 3 legs or something. It's like, oh, you poor thing.
Yeah.
I get that you poor thing kind of look from the man that's supposed to love me, that I'm gonna spend the rest of my life with. So
Yeah.
I don't know if he'll fucking stay home or not because I don't know this man.
Yeah.
And that's scary because who wants to be alone? Am I gonna be like looking for a friend in the end, or what's that movie?
Yeah, I
Uh,
mean, you could be like, Tim, if you leave here, you're going to leave me here. Like, if I didn't go to my son's place, I'm going to sit there. I'm going to load the shotgun. I'm going to be sitting there waiting for people to come. Like, do you really want
yeah.
me in that kind of state? Son is in the chat. He's talking about everyone being on edge. And that's the whole idea with this, right? Is
They're trying to, yeah, dude, they're feeding off our fear. If they think about how terrified people are, and honestly, that I'm a super emotional person. I always have been. I cry when I'm mad. I cry when I'm happy. I cry when I'm sad. So I'm super emotional. I'm not afraid of showing that I'm emotional, but I'm a tough bitch. I've been through a whole lot in my life, and I've been able to take care of myself.
yeah,
I was stabbed in the 8th grade.
yeah,
I've been, I had to fight my way through school. I had to fist fight. I've been jumped and beat up by gangs of kids. I come from an abusive household. I've been through some shit. I had a boyfriend that beat me for a year, and I fought back, and I've overcome so much, and but I'm afraid now. I'm afraid, and how they got this power over me is just sickening. I want to take my power back,
yeah.
but I am terrified. I'm terrified that somebody's going to come in here and kill me, or that I'm going to kill somebody. I'm terrified for my kids. My two oldest are concealed carry. What happens if they shoot somebody?
Yeah.
And, because of, they could end up in prison because of some remark that they made on Facebook 8 years ago. Something that would be considered socially insensitive.
Hey, we have a deplorable on the Zoom here.
A
Fokker,
deplorable.
what's up, brother?
Oh,
Hey man, what's up?
You are now part of the scourge, the people that aren't buying the Kool-Aid here. They're not drinking the Corona, and you're now like a pariah, huh?
Yeah, man, I'm like famous, dude. I was supposed I was supposed to go into work and catch up some office work, but like I'm getting notification about voicemails. I just don't want to check them right now. Who knows what the fuck people are saying? A lot of ill will and vitriol being spit at me. The people I don't know that have never been to my yoga studio.
Yeah. It's crazy, dude. Like, I cannot believe those videos you showed yesterday. And it's totally consistent, your hospital videos, with like what I've been finding out here. And it just is like everyone's sitting locked inside thinking that there's like some big, thing floating around invisibly that's taking us all down. It's like some Twilight Zone or something.
Yeah, and what do you guys in the Facebook chat? You guys are saying martial law is coming down.
Yeah, in the states, once California goes, it's only a matter of time before Massachusetts goes, and then Carla
Illinois
said
just went down.
her state went to the lockdown mode. You're
So
not allowed
which
out.
which state California has?
No,
California did it
okay.
last night. As of midnight, you couldn't go out of your house.
Yeah, in
And
California.
yeah,
Yeah,
and now
I'm in
it's
Illinois, Mac.
Illinois.
Who's that, Carla?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in Illinois, sweetie. They're
I,
shutting us down tomorrow at midnight.
I thought you were in Michigan for some reason.
No, honey, I'm in Illinois. I'm right on the edge of St. Louis, Missouri. I'm right across the river from St. Louis, Missouri. So,
Okay.
yeah, I'm like 8 miles from East St. Louis and 7 miles from St. Louis Arch.
So
Not
what
that-
has happened, Mac? Like they're basically putting you up as the poster child of defiance.
It seems that way. They're trying to. It's just bizarre how people are latching onto this, and I don't know what's going on. The media just blew up with it, and they don't give a shit that that there's business involved, and they don't want to get the full details. They just running with these stories. I did one interview with CBC, and the other, I guess I came back and I wasn't around yesterday, so I missed calls and emails. And without even questioning me or doing an interview, they went on and started publishing these pieces. And now the city of Delta is lying, saying that I wasn't willing to comply. When the Delta bylaw officer came by the first time, he gave me the go ahead. He said we're practicing social distancing and just continue to do that, and he'll come back and check. And in the articles, they're talking to whoever his boss is, and he's saying they came by there, had a class in session, and then they said that I didn't. I don't know the exact words. I was refusing to comply with social distancing. I wasn't going to take any measures.
Did
So,
you have any class going?
I had a class just ended when the first guy came by. The first time the bylaw came by, I had a class just ending, and he saw there was only like a dozen people there, and I showed my studio and the live stream yesterday. It's huge. It holds a lot of people. Like it can hold 75 people. If it's jam packed.
Yeah.
So 10 people is just more. I could probably put 20 in that room, right?
Right.
It's 2,000 square feet, so whatever that works out to, right? Probably 20 comfortably.
Yeah.
But now they're running with they interview that guy, and he's just blatantly said that I guess he's saying that we weren't complying, and that's a fucking lie. So I'm just wondering, how does this shit happen? Like these guys got to be NPCs, like got some kind of a.
They're targeting you. You are 100% being fucking gang stalked right now because of that email you sent that dude. Is it who is that you sent that email to?
All my students. I sent that to all my students announcing a schedule change. So it went out to about 4,000 people that are active in the database that receiving emails. And I guess some of these people started forwarding it around to their friends and their family. And then some people got really triggered and decided to call the city and the media, forward it on to the media.
Yeah, it's like full on see something, say something mode right now where, people are listen, Laurel, couldn't believe people are ratting other people out and they've got, authorities showing up and everything like that. If you're defying the social distancing rules, it's unbelievable. It's like everyone's going to be walking around with a big stick that keeps it. And honestly, dude, you've seen when you blow one of those things of, like a vaporizer, you fill up your lungs with something and you blow it. You can pretty much fill up an entire room if you want to with one inhale, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think
Yeah.
6 feet's going to do? Like, honestly, you could blow out a cloud of smoke that goes 15 feet from you. It's just an arbitrary number that they just threw out there. Like 6 feet is the wingspan of your arms. That like average man can reach 6 feet, so they wouldn't be able to touch each other or something like that. But that article that Karen was reading yesterday from MIT, I thought was like really amazing, because it was talking about how all of these services that whether they're going to return to normal or not, I'm not sure, because it's like they're talking about any kind of gathering of people, like a movie theater, or how about a subway? Are they going to ever be able to turn on subways again, or will there be hockey games in stadiums like we've had, or is that completely gone? Is it like people are gonna have to walk in to view a match with their own personal ventilator or something like that. It's
Dude, abortion clinics are still open today. They've shut my fucking entire state down, but abortion clinics are still open in the state. Doctors' offices aren't seeing anybody until June, but they're still killing babies on a regular fucking basis here.
Wow.
They consider that an essential service, so they're still taking them. I called today. They answered the phone, so they're
Yeah.
still open. They're open till 3 o'clock today. Murdering your baby's an essential fucking service, but I can't go in to see my doctor and get a prescription if I need it because of my hip issue that I may have to eventually have replaced here. So, it's not like Brian. It's not as serious as what he's going through, but they
Still
won't
don't
even.
know Brian's
They,
injury. What's
huh?
Brian's injury? I still don't know. Keep forgetting to ask him. Do you know?
I think. Yeah, I'm having trouble hearing you, Mac. You kind of got to echo.
yeah. I think you're still talking into your computer mic for some reason.
Oh, maybe I got to change.
Yeah, there you go.
That's better. So, what'd you say, Matt?
I said, what's Brian's injury? I keep forgetting to ask him.
He hasn't said anything.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
he needs some surgery, and he doesn't really want to go into details, and have everybody know what's going on. So you might want to ask him personally. I've talked to him about it, but it's not anything that I would say in the group because he's never told me, it's okay to talk about it. So,
Mac, what are you at this point? What's the? You seem to be in the thick of it with your business. Do you think you'll just like keep it going so that this is a discussion with the community, or because honestly, after a little while, people might start coming around and say like, all this was. I don't know. Maybe people after a week of this will start looking around like, I don't care what, I'm getting out of here and I'm going to like start going outside and exercising again. Or like, do you anticipate any kind of recovery from this or?
Hold on a sec to test it. I don't know which mic, how to change my mic.
That's the right one right there. Whatever you got.
Okay. You know what? I've got so much on my plate. I would run classes, but I don't want to get shut down. And you don't know who the rats are. So, I can't send out an email. I would like to I want to run classes just for myself.
Yeah.
Because this is the end of my studio. Like I can't recover from this. Like, I'm already behind the 8 ball.
Right.
Another studio owner in Vancouver, like the core of Vancouver, had 4 studios, and the very known name Semper Vita. And apparently yesterday she shut her studios down for good. She says there's no way I can recover from this. So as far as I mean, I'm planning to go in and do class, but it's almost like I don't even feel like doing class because everything is just blown up. Like I don't know, like if I should ignore the voicemails, all these emails. I do want to make a video, a follow-up video, just like going out with a bang, making a statement, apologize to all my good students, let them know, hey, you want a refund, call the city of Delta, call the mayor, ask them for your money back, and call the Delta bylaw and call Dr. Bonnie Henry, the chief health, provincial health person,
Right.
and ask her to give your money back, and call Justin Trudeau and ask him to give your money back. And I just want to go out with a bang, and I want to say, yeah, I don't believe that this whole virus is real. Where are the people? I want to meet the people. Why are they not testing for people? How come nobody knows anybody personally, directly, that has the virus? And yet we're all buying this fear. And whether I get attacked and get more hate mail and all that, then that's fine. Right now, I'm trying to think. Oh, I got to take my website down and do all of this kind of stuff. Get my email off.
Oh, sorry,
well,
guys.
Let me ask you this, Mac. like is there this could be
This,
like
this,
your
this,
calling right here. Like this could be a soapbox that you
Carla,
could
turn down your watch page. Somebody turn
I
down the.
did. I did. I'm sorry.
this could
Yeah.
be a platform for you to address people about all of these hoaxes, you know, and basically if they want to come interview you, you could be like the I mean uh, they're obviously going to do hit things on you and make you look bad in certain ways, but like you might be able to get a whole bunch of people that jump to your side of thinking, which is exactly what we need, is like rational thinkers to say, hey, you know, we don't see the reality matching up with the horror that you've painted. Because honestly, you look anywhere and everyone is just kind of like waiting for some kind of wave of terror to overtake the world, and
Yeah.
they're anticipating that this is. And so if this if certainly if this doesn't happen and the next couple of weeks we're all just sitting inside and no one's got any kind of evidence that hospitals are being overwhelmed, at some point people got to just get out of their dwellings and start saying, okay, I think maybe we were duped or something. And maybe at that point people could kind of return. I don't know if there's any way you could kind of keep your thing open just to make that point, or if people can jump
Well,
in and help you keep it open so that you can continue the dialogue with the people there, or just not shut down the dialogue in a way, you know?
Well, here's the thing. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I talked to the lawyer yesterday. Uh, um, since they've what is it, declared it a national, what is it, a state of emergency here
Great.
in British Columbia. They have unlimited powers. You know, they can just pick me up and decide to throw me in jail. So I got to be careful of that. I mean, if it wasn't declared a state of emergency, then maybe I would probably go ahead full blown. But as far as right now, they've warned me if I operate, they'll take further action. All they got to do is send the local police down, rough me up, throw me in handcuffs, and put me in a jail cell, right? So, um, you know, the challenges are quite different. I should right now, the best thing I could do, I guess, is make a statement. I'm thinking about making a video statement and just kind of sending an email out with the link, Google Drive link, and let people watch that. I don't think I have time to. I don't want to sit there and write out a long email. And other than that, it's just because of the threat of physical violence and imprisonment right now that's looming. It's, you
Who
know,
was who's the news source that reported on you? What's the news source? Is it a local TV?
yeah,
Is
it's
the
all
head
local. Right now,
okay?
it's right now. I've been on CBC locally here in British Columbia. That's the national, one of the national radio TV stations. I've been on Global locally here. I don't know if that made the TV or just print. All of this stuff, I don't know. I don't think it made TV. Nobody sent me a link. It's just all print articles.
Yeah,
So Global's the other national, the TV station here. I think there's three or four of them, and
yeah.
then the local radios, one of the local radio stations, and City TV as well. Again, I think all of this stuff is in print, and the local newspaper here, one of Vancouver Sun. Somebody's just sent me a link to that about a half an hour ago, and it's pretty much the same story with a couple of different lines, different, and yeah, that's the story they ran with.
Well, the thing is, Fokker, if you're gonna respond to them, if you're gonna give them a reply, like a video reply, as much as we want to say, hey, this fucking thing is fake, we don't believe it's happening, we don't see victims and stuff. Stick to your stick. You
Hold
were
on a sec.
talking about charter laws last night.
Hold on, Carla.
Sure.
Yeah, it could go down a big rat hole if he starts talking about
Yeah.
the science of the whole thing.
Yeah. I don't want to see him get Arkansided.
Sorry,
or
what What were you
No, I was
saying? If
just
I
gonna
do a
say,
video?
yeah, if you, I mean, instead of going down the route where, where you're corona smacking somebody, stick with your charter laws or whatever for your municipality. Stick with that, what your rights are as a citizen, and without going into what they'll use against you and call you, I mean, the trying to make you manduzled or
Uh,
whatever their goal is. They
and the
already
fact,
know everything there is to know about you, these motherfuckers, because if you know they singled you out above everybody else, somebody is attacking you um on a personal level. Why are they doing that? You said the wrong thing to the wrong person, um and it's snowballed. The NPCs are being led by something, if it's a darker power, whatever it is, but they're it's some form of gang stalking, and I don't know where it all comes from, but just
fucker,
don't,
you know,
don't give them any ammunition to
yeah.
use against you, hun.
If you start throwing out, I think a lot of people like to attack the fact that you were talking about the hotness of the hot yoga being an environment that the virus can't thrive in, and people kind of went after you on that science. And I mean, if you kind of focus on the fact that we have amazing immune systems that we all have that have been fighting these types of things for years, and they do their job just as they're supposed to work, and they flush these things out, and that we have the stats that kind of show us well below last year's numbers as far as cases and deaths and everything. So all of this looks actually pretty rosy compared to last year, and get people on board with the idea of like, yeah, there's no reason that we should fear this thing from the standpoint of like, there, the flu takes out thousands of senior citizens every year.
Oh
That's
yeah.
just a fact of life, and there is nothing that we have seen that is unique about this. As a matter of fact, we've seen China just get right back to normal, supposedly, is what they're
Right.
saying. I don't believe any of the news stories coming from Italy or China. We have no way to verify any of the things that they're saying, and the overloaded, and that's all that they're using to basically say it's going to happen here and we need to gear up the hospitals. It's all these stories from Italy and China. And, if you can get people to say, yeah, look, this is all about building up good immune systems for, keeping healthy, and sure, I'll abide by whatever the laws are as far as how far away people can. If that's the new normal for operating a yoga studio, I'm on board, and I welcome anyone who would like to, do a yoga with a little bit more space around you than you used to have. I don't know.
Well, the thing with that too is the amount of space between the people. That's ridiculous because people are head to foot, head to foot, head to foot. So that's 5.5 feet right there. So if there's just a foot in between the head to foot, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're not going to catch it from somebody's feet. Am I right? So, the 6 feet would be 2 arm lengths between you and the person next to you, but you've already got 5.5 feet. All you need is another foot, and you're head to foot. So it doesn't make any fucking sense what they're talking about. They're just singling you out. People in grocery stores who are checking out your groceries, you're closer to them than you are to the person that you're doing yoga with.
Yeah.
Am I right? So,
Yeah.
Exactly. It's
when
just
go ahead. Man.
Never mind. I was trying
It's
to
such an
get
arbitrary
yeah.
number, and honestly, you could say, you know what, I really disagree with the science of like 6 feet, and I do believe that people inhale and exhale, air that goes well beyond 6 feet. but at this point, I'm not really interested in putting together all kinds of studies. I'm willing to abide by the new, but at as you're saying this, you're dropping a lot of nuggets for people to kind of latch onto and be like, yeah, what is it with 6 feet? Because like, there are a couple examples that you can just do, like cut a fart in a room, and you'll realize, right? Someone across the room is gonna smell that shit.
Well, these people have a problem. Like they just think that like a lot of the comments are like just a yoga room closed room with a bunch of people is wrong. They're just on the attack mode. I don't think they're in the educational mode. You can't explain to them. Then we should shut down every bus. Like
Yeah.
we shut down the SkyTrain subways.
Right.
You try to reason with people like that. They just caught up in hot yoga. A closed room. I was just got a video sent to me. Somebody's having a party in their backyard, a wedding party or something like that. That's what Indian people do. And then there's a video there. Somebody is just going off on how these people are close to each other, and there's a lot of people in this backyard dancing and hugging each other.
Yeah.
So I think it's beyond the point of like educating these people. As
Yeah.
much as I would like to remain diplomatic, I just feel that if I just stay calm and make a quick video and go out guns a blazing, because with the martial law coming and curfews, I don't mean to be a doom and gloomer. I don't know when they're going to end this. Like, you know what I mean? This test has gone completely insane.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a test. I think this is the end result. I don't think this is a test. I think that now they know, all these Second Amendment, these big Second Amendment proponents like my boyfriend and like, thousands of people that I know who live, who have guns and talk about their rights under the Constitution and, castle law and protecting your home, that these people are just bending over. These people that said, come and get my guns, Mullen Lave, come and get them, come and take them from me, that they're gonna stand up against the government, and that we have our Second Amendment right not to protect our homes or to hunt, but to protect us against, against our evil government, so.
Yeah, honestly, I what if you were to put out a bunch of nuggets as you go out here, and talk about, are we prepared to not ever ride a bus again? Are we prepared to you can be the voice of reason in this last statement, and maybe a percentage of the people reading that will go, wow, this guy's making some solid sense.
Yeah.
I think that would be great if now the other thing is, dude, I had a venture backed company that was in business for 5 years before 9/11, and we were essentially dependent on the venture capital that we had raised to keep us going. And when 9/11,
Karen's, there's some background noise with Karen.
That's not me.
Karen, can you mute?
That's not me, bud.
No, Karen's here.
Oh,
Is this better now?
You're really peaking. Your volume is.
That's
Too
better.
loud?
That's better.
There was
Keep
some
bringing it down a little bit.
How's that?
That's good.
hey,
So-
Rasta. Rasta's in the house.
So
Hi, Rasta.
Mac, I had this business going right before 9/11, and it became impossible to get the attention of any venture capital after 9/11, and it was the death nail for my business. I had to shut it down, and it was a real gut check for me, and it was something that I felt that we were on the verge of doing some really amazing stuff, but the reality of the situation was that it just, it brought it to an end. And inside of me, I didn't want that, but looking back on it, it was the best thing to happen because there was a lot of issues going forward, and how exactly the strategy of the company was going to play out, and there was very strange times going around because the dot-com bubble had burst. And so it was just a very strange time to have a business, and it resulted in a business that had to close its doors. And I don't know if I know you had talked about running your business and how difficult and challenging it had gotten and stuff like that. And I'm just wondering, in some grand scheme of things, maybe this is like a fitting closure to the business that you had running. I don't want to try to put a spin on it that's positive,
No.
but you actually have made a significant statement on what's happening in the world, to the point that you've made national news there. And while that may not be good, you could be looked at by some people in Canada there as the voice of reason, the guy that owns the yoga shop. And so
True.
I believe that you may go down as a hero to some people that just are not buying the corona,
Yeah,
Yeah, just be
exactly,
careful
exactly.
with-
I
Be
think,
careful how you say it, Mac. It's not so much what you say, how you say it, so that you don't become a target, dude.
Yeah.
yeah, okay. I mean, I think it's a blessing. Like, I've been saying I'd like a sign. I didn't know which
Yeah.
way to go. I was in limbo.
right?
And I think this is a sign. This is the exit from God saying, "Here's your
Yeah,
out.
here's your
Here's
out.
your graceful out that I don't have to. Oh,
That's
too
right.
much noise."
And honestly, I was
Sorry.
looking for a sign too. And my father passed away in April, and then the Twin Towers came down in September, and I was like, that's all I need. That's the sign that I need, right?
Yeah, let's mute the mics when we're not talking. So hard to hear.
Yeah.
Rasta's here as well. Karen's here first. What do you want to add, Karen? Or
I came in to just kind of say something like on my Social Security that I get every month, my disability. They shut me off.
Did they really?
Yeah, they shut me off of that and insurance too. So they said they did a review on me, which I was not involved. And they said I was still working, which I'm not. And
Right.
so they cut me off disability. And I got it. They got stuff in the mail to me, but it's snail mail. You can't go into Social Security. You got to do everything by mail now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pretty soon it's going to be like Pony Express.
Yeah. I just wanted to say beware of glitches, because I'm a perfect person to get the glitch. Like I'm always, something's going to happen. It's going to happen to me.
Yeah.
Not the
Karen,
corona, but life sucks,
Karen, what was your reason for them shutting you off? What? I mean, you were.
They said I was working. Yeah, they said I said I was working, which I'm not, and they can look at this. I'm not working, and that that they did a review on me and determined I was not disabled anymore. First off, I got it for being severely mentally disabled, which I'm not, but it went that way, how they labeled me.
Right.
And so that right there would insure me disability,
Right.
But so now I got to fight with them to get it back.
Wow.
So
Well-
just take it easy. I was just going to say, I'm not letting it kill me. What is, and I'm going to do what I got to do. And I'm not going to worry about it or freak about it. I just wanted to let y'all know what could happen and to take it with a grain of salt. Like what happened to you, Mac. Like just, take it easy and calm. And, Satan wants us to be mad and fear and, oh my goodness. But if we go doing things with a level head, Satan don't know what to think.
Dude, I think there's a great opportunity for your message to be heard by a much wider audience, and to just kind of put reasonable points in every communication that you have, every news story that comes out. You know they're going to twist, but if you use quotes that are well thought out, that you know will appeal to people's rational sense, like, you know, breathing and exhaling and you know, looking at what's actually happening in hospitals and so forth. You know, you may get people that jump on you and say, well, it's not happening, but it's gonna happen. But, you know, there's nothing you can say to those people that are basically predicting that this virus, it's not the virus that's going to hurt anyone, it's everyone freaking out that's going to shut all these families up. You know, it's going to cause all these divisions in relationships and everything like that. It's all of the side stuff around the situation that's causing the disruption, not the virus. The virus isn't doing anything as far as we can tell.
You're
Max-
right.
Max,
Yeah, that's just the issue. I'm dreading sitting down for, you know, several hours to script this out. Like, you know, that's just not my style.
Yeah.
You know, and when I start ad-libbing, freestyling it, I could get myself into trouble. But maybe I can get the help of Jason to just edit out any time that I go off off topic here.
Yeah.
And make a video and record it and have it edited.
Yeah, I mean, that would be amazing, dude. If you put together a video and you know, just looked at all the different points that you make in the video and try the best that you can to see where they might try to tear you apart, and leave those bits out of the whole thing. But, you know, just appeal to any sense that people may have that there's something funky going on that doesn't match up with the reality of this situation. And as a business owner, you know, you can appeal to all the other business owners to say, are we prepared to basically shut down every single business that we ever built in this country?
Wow. You're the voice, Mac.
You're the voice, dude. You're the
You
voice
sound
of
like
little
you're the
bit.
voice, Christian.
No, you are, dude.
Record it for me.
You are the voice, dude. You have the biggest nuts in the whole freaking province that you're in, and you
we
have
got an echo.
someone's.
Karen needs to mute her.
Karen, turn your audio off, hon.
Is that better, Karen?
Oh yeah.
Karen, you got to turn your. I've muted you, but you got to turn your thing off. You've got a platform of small businesses. Someone else is echoing too now. But you've got this platform for small businesses to discuss whether you're all just going to sit there and watch the government take your businesses away and try to figure out how to return to some kind of dystopic future, or we can actually make attempts to look at this stuff with reason and judge whether our reactions are justified to the severity of this particular case, because, you know, you can't see it. I can't see it. You've got video proof that shows that you know, people are going into these hospitals and not seeing anything going on except preparations. It's ridiculous. It's crazy that no one would ever expect there to be like a link between reality and what's being reported. It's just like they don't even care. That's the NPC, right? They're just like buying the story hook, line, and sinker. And there are plenty of small business owners that are all out jobs right now, and you're part of that. You've been thrust to the front of that group, and it's
You're in the 99% now, bud. There's
Yeah.
about 1% of businesses that are left open, and everybody I know now, including my boyfriend, whose job is pertinent to the infrastructure of the fucking country.
Mac,
You know,
I'll
his
tell you
job
what.
is on-
If you pull this off right, there are going to be a lot of chicks watching this that are going to be like, "Oh my god, that guy is so dreamy. I think I'm in love." And you're going to
Hey,
get
Rasta Bear's backstage.
you're going to get
Christian.
an email list that's just as long as all the hate mail that you've gotten of ladies that are like, "Dude, I need to know more about you. I want to date." And you're going to find yourself in an amazing situation, I think. By the way,
Hey.
my stream may cut out here because I'm on the non-paid subscription here with Zoom. But if it does, I'm just going to post another link, and you just click on it, and we'll meet back in here, okay?
Yeah,
Speaking
did
of
Rasta wanna say?
dreaming, Speaking
Yo.
of dreaming, Rasta Bear's backstage.
Hey, Rasta, what's up,
What's
man?
up, everybody?
We love you, Ross.
Join the chat here. And hang
You're
out
in
with you
Oregon.
guys.
How's it looking there, bro?
Oh well, it's a beautiful day here.
Yeah.
It's really nice out. But yeah, it's getting crazy with a lot of things. But I'm an Uber driver here, and I've been doing that the whole time. And in my car, there's only maybe like a foot of social distancing that can go on inside my vehicle.
Yeah.
And I don't give a shit. Like people have asked me, they're like, "Are you scared if somebody coughs or sneezes in your car?" And I'm like, "No." I'm like, if I was scared of getting sick, I wouldn't be doing this job. Because
Right.
I've
Yeah.
given people rides that are from Seattle, which is the supposed epicenter in the United States, and from all over the world. And I'm not buying it. And the thing is, doing this job, doing Uber, I've been able to red pill almost all my passengers here lately because nobody believes what's going on. Nobody believes the real narrative, but they haven't pushed it as far enough to just question the numbers and question, what's really happening and the reasoning for it.
Yeah, dude. This could be the one that everyone wakes up to. Hold on, folks. I'm just getting another chat going. All right, guys, I just put the new link in the chat. If you guys want to link back up there, that's where I am.
Yo.
Yo, Rasta, we got another 40 minutes here.
Yo. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yep, I can hear you, Rasta.
Okay. Yeah, cool. So, like I was saying, it's been great being able to talk to people about this stuff because people have never really wanted to talk about issues like this before, but now all of my passengers, they want answers to this stuff. And, like I'm in a position where I've done a lot of research and been parts of groups like this to where, I happen to have some of the answers that they're looking for. And it really makes it's opening up. I feel like this whole situation is being used to awaken the masses on a large scale, because people are going to really be pretty upset when they find out they've been lied to,
Yeah.
on such a massive scale. And that's what this is all one big lie. There's no proof, at least that I've seen personally, that I'm convinced that this is even a real deal, especially here in our country. And there's been so many of the videos that we have seen that we've been able to debunk as as scripted or fake in some
Right.
way. And the whole narrative just doesn't add up. And I've got family members that work in a hospital here, where they've got supposedly one case there, but by this time they said that our beds were supposed to be filled up with people, and that's just not happening.
Yeah.
And
It's a complete hoax, dude. It's like they're they're just messing with the data and showing us maps and pictures from other countries that we can't even verify. Like if you ask anyone from Italy if they can like chime in on this, they'll say, "Oh, I knew a friend that had a mother that I think she was part of, like she might have, yeah, it's a whole bunch of stuff that we've always heard before, just like 9/11. I had a friend's uncle, brothers who knew someone that was in the towers the day of the thing, right? And it's just like, well, listen, honestly, now that I think of this might be like this. How we always looked at the Mandela effect and said maybe this is like God waking people up that reality isn't quite what you expected, right? Like, and we're thinking like, wow, it's getting more obvious and more obvious for people to see because it's right in front of them with these changes that are so obvious that it's hard to believe that reality is what I thought it was. So maybe some over-the-top stunt like this gets another huge swath of the public looking at this. If what you're saying is true, that you're talking to people that are just not buying it, it only takes I see a lot more people not buying this than I did 9/11. People bought that one.
And this is the thing too, like the removal of like the sports distraction, like the NBA and the gatherings of going out to the bars and things like that. That is forcing people to focus on this, and actually, it's going to help wake them up.
Yeah.
Here in Portland, it's like we've got a lot of bars here, and especially a lot of strip clubs here, and those have all been forced to close. And I swear to you, like I can feel a cleaner environment in the air here. Like it just feels more pure now that those establishments aren't functioning.
Yeah.
And so I know
I
that
wish it would here. It's so oppressive. We've had rain we had a really, really bad day of chemtrails. Horrible 2 weeks ago on Monday. So it's been like 17 days or some shit now. The sky was just nothing but chemtrails, and it's rained every single day since then, every day. And it's like so oppressive and depressing and stuff.
It's off and on here. We'll get like a week of bad chemtrails, and I've filmed a few days like that, and then we'll have weeks on end of just clear skies with not a line in the sky.
Right.
And so I'm thankful for those days.
I'll tell you, the people that I've run into, it's kind of like the post 9/11 thing where people are nice to each other. I see motorcyclists that are getting out there and riding their bikes in some nice weather, and they're like, they've got no cars on the road, right? So that they're like, really digging it. And it is. I'll be honest with you. Probably in 19 or maybe 2005 or something, when all the stuff was going down with the Patriot Act and the war going overseas to fight people that never attacked us and all of this kind of stuff. I really was thinking to myself, I think at some point this country's due for a reset.
And yeah, and I agree with you, and that's where, you know, I'm an optimist. I always try and look for the good in things, you know, and try and find the silver lining, where, you know, there's gonna be good that's gonna come from this, and you know, there's a lot to be stressed about because there's a lot of uncertainty going on
Yeah.
right now, especially, you know, with the imminent threat of going under martial law for a little while.
Yeah.
And these type of things, but I look for the hope in this, that this is going to turn out well for us, and
Well,
it's going to turn out well for good people, and we're going to overcome this. It's going to reset our economy and basically do away with the system where it's been set, where the rich get richer and the poor just get poor and stay poor, and it's just a slave establishment that's been doomed from the get-go.
Yeah.
And I think that this is going to be our out. This is going to be our ability to, you know, to where it's never going to be the same. Nothing's ever going to be the same after this.
Yeah. It's going to get disrupted, and the businesses like Max are going to get shut down, and the restaurants and the families that are dependent on those incomes are going to have to like come up with some emergency procedures and stuff like that to kind of like make ends meet. But if think about if communities start rising up and start like making sure that there's a safety net for people that lost out with GoFundMe accounts and campaigns to keep people, you know, on the grid or whatever, like able to put food on the table and everything like that. You know, it's going to force communities to talk to each other. I'll tell you what, the mainstream media picked the wrong guy to make their poster child with Mac, because
Exactly.
Mac,
Yeah,
Mac now has a platform to take his message of mainstream NPCs that are completely asleep, and he's been thrust into a national position. It's
exactly.
unbelievable.
Mac, you are my hero now. Like, this is freaking, and you're gonna be so many people's hero, because you're getting feedback from like this small, tiny percent of people who just are cringeworthy people to begin with.
Yeah.
But that's not the majority of people. Like the voice, you are our voice, and you're given the platform now to go out and give that voice to the people and give us hope, and the ability of discernment. And using our head, and a calculator can easily debunk these numbers
Yeah.
that they've given us. And I couldn't think of a better person. And
I
you're
know.
right, Christian. They picked the wrong person to do this. This is not
Exactly.
gonna turn out
And
well for them.
honestly, if he plays this one right, he could take his platform. And I know, Rasta, you watched that one night when he had that megaphone and he was going through, and he was talking to everyone on the street. He was getting out of his car. People were
That was a
asking him,
great
"Hey, can
video.
I take that
That was one
megaphone?"
of
And
my
he was
favorites
like,
of all time.
"Sure, I'll give you the megaphone if you want to say something." And he was just getting out, and he didn't care if anyone got in his face or anything. Now, maybe that's just something about Canada, and people are just like not gonna punch each other. But in Boston, if I got out and started getting into people's face, there'd be a lot of people that would take a swing at me. I'm sure of that, you know?
Yeah, that whole stream, like, that made my night. Actually, that probably made my whole week.
Yeah. Hey,
I reflected back on that live stream so many times and just laughed to myself, and but in a way of just like giving you mad props, because that was just
It was awesome, wasn't it?
there's words can't even describe how amazing that was. And that's why I know you're the right person, and God has put you in this position for a reason. And that's how the Most High works, is through, he'll give us things where we have a choice to make, where we can get down and out and wallow in our sorrows, or we can use the opportunities that we're handed to do his works.
yeah, that's right. and again, it would be something where if you say, hey Mac, how in the world did you get blast into the forefront of all of this? It'd be like, well, let me tell you exactly how this happened. It just is crazy how it unfolded, but he managed to, take his business that was, the times were kind of trying on him and turn it into a complete speaking point for the rest of the world to latch onto and to say, hey, maybe this guy is making some sense. We got some guys in the house. Voynich, what's up, brother? System failure.
Hey,
You guys, hey, Voynich, dude, I cannot believe those videos that you were making. The gas mask, going through the convenience store with the gas mask. No human contact. No human contact. That was incredible, dude. I love those. And honestly, it shows you it shows you how, the over the top nature of this whole thing. But it is amazing to see you out there doing that. In the States, I'd be arrested probably. So I guess you can get away with stuff in the Netherlands.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Dude, what compelled you to put on the gas mask and go out and start yelling at people? I think your mic is off. There you go.
Where is he? Where is he gone?
Voynich?
Oh, there he is.
Voy? Let me see. Did I?
Hello. Heard calling Voynich.
No,
Voynich?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Say something,
Vo-
Voynich.
Boynek. We can't hear you. We
Ah,
can't
well.
see you.
Anyway, yeah, I hope everyone saw the video there. It was just unbelievable how
It was his
undeterred he is to go through and wake people up. It's just like Mac. I give the biggest props to you guys for showing people something graphically that they're missing, that there's something wrong with all this.
Karen, honey, turn your audio off. We can all hear you.
Hey, how you doing, system failure?
I am absolutely top. Yeah. I'm doing good. Yeah, in the middle of London, as to do.
You feeling healthy?
But yeah, man, 100%, man. They can fucking I'm 100%. I'm locked in my room. I don't really care. I've got a. Listen, I don't want to say too much, but I have a uniform that I used to wear a long time ago. That's similar to the British Army one, so I might just wear that through and see if I can run into some troops and start talking to them, high-fiving them, and stuff like that.
How large
You know
is
what I mean?
it?
Fuck it. If they're out in the street, they won't let me pass. If they won't let me pass on the street, I'll just dress like them and just put a fucking badge on.
Yeah,
So, well, I'm in the military. There you go. Fuck off. Get out of my way.
yeah, exactly.
But as far as London is at the moment, I think there's a lot of lockdown, but it's been going on for quite a while. But we're all with it. We know it's all a fucking plan. We
Yeah,
know it's been going on for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, not just 50 or 60. This plan that was taken over, that we're seeing now, was taken over the generation before them, and now they're moving it into play. And then the next one will be the next one, and so forth and so forth and so forth. But what it is now is this internet's probably going to go down next week. They reckon the 1st of May, or sorry, April, which is the day, which happens to be the day that my other channel comes back online.
really. Interesting. Yeah.
But it's just a part of a game. We just have to stay safe, guys. You just have to. If you think that you need a mask, wear one. If
Yeah.
you don't. I think personally, it's not going to affect me, man. If it does, fuck it, I'll die. I'll meet you all in heaven.
Well, yeah, exactly. Well,
It's better
they're
than
talking
fucking
about
where we are right now in this hellhole.
if you need the
Know what I
mask,
mean?
they're talking about you wearing a mask to protect others from you. So it seems like combined with the social distancing, that they're kind of like setting it up for people to kind of look down on those that really are not buying the corona, you know, to basically look at you like an outcast.
It looks like, yeah, they seem to be wanting to divide and conquer, because they can conquer us better when we're divided. So if we break us into little groups, we're not let speak, we're not let 20 people in, stand around. That's like what is that? That's like what you do to gangs on, if you see 20 people, you tell them to disperse because they're talking shit. So they don't want us talking real stuff. So they're trying to make us, divide us and conquer us.
Yeah.
It's easier for them to divide and conquer us if we're smaller groups. If we're bigger groups and we're getting bigger, because now the truth's coming and we're all fucking with it. And the more of us stand up, the less of them there is, if you know what I mean. Because there's only like, what, the 1%? Is that what they call it? The 1%? It used to be the 5%, or the 1%. That means that 99% of us and maybe 45% of them are still asleep and are probably going back to sleep with this virus shit because it's all in their mind. Because that's all it is. Fear is right there.
Yeah. That's
all it is, man. That's the way I look at fear. Fear is right there. It's right here.
Yeah.
Between the eyes. That's where fear is, guys. Don't let it live there, man. Let it live out there. Let them fucking deal with it.
Yeah.
It's their fear. That's the way I look at it. Sorry. That's the way I look at it.
No,
I'm not going
right
to get involved with
that
fear. That's let them on.
Do you see things returning to any kind of normalcy, or do you think this is a new norm for us, where it's going to be, no pubs, no social gatherings, and any group outside of 15 or more people is going to be broken up by the authorities or something like that? I mean, isn't it becoming so obvious that people are all going to wake up to this and be like, you got to be kidding me. Like, we grew up wrestling in the park with our neighbors with gooey hands. Like, there's no reason for any of this, And just like, I could see Joey yelling at everyone in there with his megaphone and telling everyone to get out of their houses and come on out and celebrate. But at the same time, anyone that does that at this moment they're going to call the cops on them,
Oh, yeah.
If you're going against the social distancing and you're actually encouraging people to get together like Mac was, and do exercise and do healthy things and stuff like that, someone's going to call the authorities, right? Be like, this person's not living up to the lockdown. It's crazy.
Do you know what? It's the way they're doing it is like the word that they use, because I know what to do to gangs, and that's the way they do it with gangs. And if they say if you're around this area, again, we'll arrest you and all that shit, stay out of this area, because these people, they just don't want you to talk to each other, because you're going to go stand on the street corner with 15 other guys that are going to talk the same kind of stuff about you. You're going to talk, and someone walking past you is going to hear that we're talking truth. And they don't want us talking truth. They want us in our house locked up with a fucking mask on with no food, and they're fucking running to this local supermarket, Costco and all them ones, the bigger ones. They don't even put the food in there anymore. You see them coming to that superstore with half a truck.
Yeah.
Right? And then they fuck off, and the warehouse is full of food. But they will let you think that they have no food, no nothing. Everyone needs toilet paper. What the fuck? Wipe your hand with your arse, man. Do you know what I mean? This is what, if you want to wipe your hand, use a bit of paper, man. If you don't use that, wipe it with your hand and wash your fucking hand. Or just shove a fucking, I don't know. That would be a bit crazy, that whole toilet paper. But it's all about conquer and divide, I think, as far as, because we're all waking up. We are all awake to this. And we're not only awake to they're lying, we're awake to what they're showing us is lies. And they're now fucking with our minds as well. They're trying to play on our emotions, which is, I think they might have thought that the emotion trigger that they use, because the Mandela effect is something to do with emotions and memories as well. They mess with your emotions so you forget them. You were sad when you saw a picture and you don't remember that picture. So they take away the sadness so you forget the memory of the picture. Then they mess it with something else. So they're messing with that now. It's just another level of it. I do think this is probably going to be the beginning of the end for them and a new beginning for us. Now, what that beginning is for us, God knows.
Yeah.
Think
God-
about
God-
this, guys. Can I interject for a
Yeah.
second?
Go. Yeah.
Okay, think about since 2008, 2009, when they opened up Facebook. There are a lot of people that say Facebook is the CIA. Now, if you think about all of the quizzes that we've taken, every time we like something, every time we take a selfie,
Yeah.
anytime that we comment on somebody's post, whether it's negatively or positively, the AI has been gathering information on each and every one of us for more than a decade.
Well, the
They
hive
know
mind,
us
yeah.
inside out. They know more about us than our families do.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They have all of that information and it's collected, and they have a database on each one of us. So they know what our fears are. And then they're able to put us into these groups.
Mhm.
And Group A believes in the Mandela effect. Group B believes in flat Earth. Group C believes in the Mandela effect, flat Earth, and they believe that NASA was, a lie. Group D believes all those things and are Christians. So they are, they have created this scenario right now with this flu thing, with all of these threats of martial law. They're coming out and attacking all of these different things that all of us believe in out of nowhere in the fucking media. It's just come out of nowhere. So they're playing against the hardest core conspiracy theorist right now with the biggest fucking conspiracy that has ever been created in the history of mankind. And we did this to ourselves because we told them what kind of dog we could be if we could be a dog.
Yeah.
Because we thought that the dress was blue and black. Because we heard Green Needle instead of the other thing, or Yanni instead of Laurel.
Yeah.
They know everything about us. They know how to play into our fears. And we are, if you think about conspiracy theorists being a danger to these alphabet agencies like the CIA, the NSA, Homeland Security, fucking EPA, all of these different alphabet agencies, the threat that we are to them, why wouldn't they go after us with this kind of a conspiracy? And we keep thinking, well, they're fucking trolling us. Well, they are trolling us. They really are. They're using this to troll us, and all of these other little nudges, these other little breadcrumbs that they're throwing to send us in all of these different directions. The Mandela Effect movie, the movie yesterday, the Jeopardy shout out. All this shit. They are making sure that the biggest conspiracy theorists, which right now would be us, we know the truth about shit. They want to make us feel crazy. They want to make us look crazy, and they want to terrify us. And by attacking us on what we feel like is a personal level, they are terrifying a lot of us, because now it's like, holy shit, everything I thought was true is really true. Did you guys see that movie, Conspiracy Theorist, with Mel Gibson?
No.
Yeah, I saw that.
No. Well, in this movie, he's a huge conspiracy theorist, and towards the middle of the movie, towards the end of the movie, he realizes that all these things, he's a little wacky, but the alphabet agencies are involved, and when he finds out that everything that he has been freaking out about all these years is true, he's like, holy shit, this really is real. So he was even doubting himself until it happened. And that's kind of where a lot of us are right now. All this stuff that we've been focused on, that we've been stressed about, that we've been thinking about. Some of us, like me, 22 years, I've been locked up in this stuff in my head, and I've been screaming it at the top of my lungs. And now I fucking know it's true, all of it. I doubted myself, and I never wanted it to be real, but it is real now. And
we
You
don't
got
really have
this,
to
Carla.
hold back on it anymore. You know, it's almost like Mac was kind of holding back his business, and he didn't want to tell people what he's doing with his business and stuff like that. And now it's like, you know, uh, you don't want to hold back on the stuff that you knew before. It's now a discussion spot like Stavely's been having with family members that he's never talked to before about anything. And now all of a
Right.
sudden he's got things to connect with. And that's what I think Mac has. We've all now got a platform, some kind of olive branch that we can reach out to people and say, okay, you didn't buy this one. How about David Weiss, how they talk about like putting out the ladder of what is it like are you willing to believe that this was fake? And there's always something that kind of gets you in onto the ladder, but then once you're on the ladder, you just keep climbing the ladder and you realize that it's all fake, you know? And
Yeah.
that this event may bring a lot of people into the fold. And it could also be something where they saw a trend that was going, and they said, "We got to shut this down." Like,
Yeah.
there's just way too many
That's what I'm
people.
getting at, Christian.
Yeah,
They have been working on this information for so long, building these files on us, and now that they know who we are, they've got to shut us down. You know, they can't kill us, because
Yeah.
that would be the biggest conspiracy ever. It would start a whole new generation of conspiracy theorists.
yeah.
But they want to shut us down.
I do
And-
believe that when we talk about CERN and it's always like magical as to what they're doing, I do believe that CERN could be a big disk drive.
Yeah, but CERN is just a machine. It's just an AI. What's behind CERN is a dark power.
Can I
There
tell you?
is-
It
Go
could
ahead,
be
sorry, I don't mean to cut in.
it could be where they're collecting all this data and from where they are making decisions about stuff. You know, like it seems to me like somewhere there is trillions and trillions of terabytes of data that has been collected on everything that we've done.
That's one thing. I just want to say something about CERN. CERN is, well, to me, it's just a smaller part of a bigger picture. Them Hadron Colliders have been around since since the late 1800s. The one that's in CERN is just a big fucking mask. It's just a big mask. It's just for us all to go, oh yeah, let's all worry about that. But it's the smaller ones you want to worry about. All these people popping into parallel universes and all this shit and making movies there, and don't underestimate their elbow when they come back. Look at Tom Hanks, look at all these other gobshites. They don't know what they're doing because they're back and forward to all these. You think CERN is a gateway to another fucking universe. Now, if you don't believe in a parallel universe, okay, you don't believe in space, believe in a universe in this universe in the same thing. We're all popping in and out because these holes are open, but there's real ones and there's little ones, there's man-made ones and there's real ones. The way I look at the hive mind we've been feeding, would you say the hive mind we've been feeding this whole Facebook, as you were saying there, Carl, about the apps and all. You remember that there was a thing that they had on Facebook years ago. It was a farmyard thing where you herded the animals and you made a farmyard. All that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
All these types of apps. They see what kind of person you are because you herd an animal over here. Oh, I'm gonna be. Yeah,
Oh,
it's all a hive
my
mind. You remember that? Do you remember that animal? Whatever
Oh,
we used to be.
no. System failure. Look at everybody hoarding right now, just like Farmville. You would purchase all your stuff and you would hoard it.
True.
Exactly. That's what the games are for.
Dude, wow.
That's what the games are for. That's what every game is for. It's all about a hive mind. This hive mind is already here. If you think we're not controlled by AI, we are. We are. We are AI. We are the next AI. But the thing is, they're trying to transhumanize us to get into this, to be part of an AI. But the thing is, when you put this chip in the back of your fucking head, which Elon Musk is bringing out this year, by the way, it's already done. A fucking 100 million people probably. When you put that on your head and you connect to the internet, you're not in control of what's there. Whoever owns that internet you're in, they're in control of you, not what you think, because everything is already pre-planned. As well as I like to do Facebook. I like to like stuff that I don't like to see what will come up on my news feed the next time, because they program you by you look at your news feed. And even on some of the groups, even on Facebook, I had someone saying to me that they can't see the live streams because they're blocking everything. AI is in control of the whole lot, and it's not just it's an AI, it's a whole mental thing. This thing, I done a show yesterday, London Live. I just replayed a show of David Icke talking about this coronavirus and the whole fucking ball, right? Now the 1% not it got blocked all over the fucking world this morning, all over the world. Can't even show it. I'm gonna do it again, but if you saw it last night, it's on London Live, but I don't think you can get it on in the UK, or sorry, outside the UK. So I done it live last night to show you what he was talking about 50 years ago and whatever. But it is all a hive mind. This whole 5G thing as well as all. That's been we're on about 11G. That 5G is 1G was a weapon. 2G is an upgrade. 3G is another upgrade. 4G is another. 5G is a fucking beast. But don't worry, there's no fucking horned fucking devil coming. He's been here. He's gone. He said, fuck it. I can't be bothered with them. Fucking Egypt, they're not even there. Don't worry about them. But the thing is, he's left someone here to control us, which is CERN, which is these demonized people that are the 1% that are all wanks standing around bloody woods, you know, jerking over squirrels or whatever, running around with pointed hats on, whatever the fuck you do. But we have to know.
Been happening.
Yeah, it's happening everywhere, man. But
It's been happening
anyway.
since the fall of man.
Exactly.
There's one Lucifer, but there are many Satans and many Antichrists.
Mm-hmm.
There's one main Antichrist, but there are going to be many that come up, you know, the little horns that come up who are controlling, who are, you know, they could be members of the, you know, they could be Bilderbergs or, you know, Freemasons or, you know, they could be the members of the United Nations. You know,
just gotta stay one step ahead.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, they're always one step ahead as long as we're giving them all our fucking information.
No, I mean we in our minds we're one step ahead because God lets us know.
Yeah. I look at it like this. I look at it that. Sorry, I always break stuff down to analogy. I look at if they can see me seeing them, that they know that I'm seeing them. Well, they're not going to start. They're going to stop looking at me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if I see the beast looking at me, I'm gonna fucking look at him in the eye and go, "What do you want? What do you want?"
Yeah.
Do you know what happens? Do you know what happens? Let me show you what happens. They just go fuck off.
Yeah.
Get on with your life.
Well, that's what Karen.
I do that anyway. So
Karen was kind of talking about that with Trolls last night, where you know, like honestly, all these people, it's a bunch of yapping, and they're gonna do what they think is gonna mess with our heads, right? And if you let them mess with your head, then it will mess with your head. But like if you actually say, you know, bring it, you know, they never bring it. It's just like you know, all this whole thing could have been perpetrated on us by literally you know, not a lot of people, and it could be something where if they get enough buy-in from the people at the CDC and some governors and things like that, and let's say they are all part of this Luciferian club, and they love to bring down people, and they love to watch people squirm. If that's the kind of club that they're in, it doesn't take a lot of people to create havoc like what we got now. And that just kind of shows you how precarious our society is, right? Like you build it up and you like to think nothing's going to take a chink out of the American dream, right? But I let go of the American dream a long time ago. Like if you're still holding on to the American dream as we grew up knowing it, then you're in a fairyland, you know? And it just, you have to kind of continually let go and let go and let go. And you realize that it's just a bunch of fluff that they're doing that causes a lot of chaos, and it is going to cause a lot of disturbance in people's lives. But in the grand scheme of things, people will realize there'll be new jobs down the road that will open up. Maybe the same crummy job that people have been complaining about for the past 4 years is now no longer available to them. And after this is all done with, they're going to have to figure out what they want to do. And maybe that's a come to Jesus kind of moment, you know. But in the grand scheme of things, I'm really glad that 9/11 gave me the opportunity to wake up.
The next plan.
What's that? What's that? System failure? I'm just really glad that 9/11 gave me an opportunity to see a glimpse of the New World Order and what they were trying to accomplish, and that woke me up.
Whatever's coming is already planned. So the next level, would you say?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been a ufologist for quite some time, for about 25 years, maybe 30 years. So I've been seen some weird shit. I've seen this whole agenda coming along. I'm expecting. I showed you tonight there was a Project Bluebeam thing that happened over Portugal or somewhere like that. It was live. There was like 3,500 people watching it. Then I dropped in 2 minutes later and there was 5,000 people watching. This is live on the thing. I put on my Facebook feed. But it just goes to show that they're putting stuff up in the sky. These drones, they want us inside so they can deliver food to us with these drones. Now, we were talking about drones earlier on, about what they have in them and how big they are, what kind of guns they have and whatever other shit. Yeah? Which they do. Now, if you think about sci-fi or whatever, sci-fi, everything in sci-fi comes from here. Every concept art that comes from sci-fi, these little drones that come on, they have little lasers in them and they can shoot a poison dart at you and you kill you and you wouldn't even know. But they want more of these out, so we're inside getting our food delivered by Amazon, by drones, by other people that do these drones things, so they can get them out there. But the other thing is, they're going to put about 500 of these drones out, but they're actually going to put about 1,000. The other 5 for the coming of whatever the fuck it is. Yeah. Now, that's going to be the final end game for them, probably, because when we see this shit in the sky, we're going to go, come on, guys, for fuck's sake. You know,
really?
And not only is that, now, no offense to Americans or anything like that. I like guns myself. But I know for a fact that if in some certain parts in Ireland, if something flew off of my fan was standing there, we'd be up shooting the fucking shit out of it. Yeah. What the fuck, man? Taking shots at it. But the way it is at the moment is you're at about 49, 51% that we believe in aliens and we don't believe in aliens. So they're going to say, okay, when we get to the 51%, they're going to put it there. And that'll push us to go, fuck off, or whatever. I
think it's going to be the great deception, Mark. I think that's... You know, I've seen stuff since 98. I had my first sighting in 98. The veil was lifted, and from 98 till 2005, I had sightings all the time before we had good cameras on our cell phones. You know, and I was buying those throwaway cameras. I've got a suitcase full of weird shit I've seen in the sky, you know, pictures and stuff. But now that I'm flat Earth, I realize that this stuff is not. You know, as far as I'm concerned, what we're seeing up there, those are spiritual entities. Those aren't the majority of them. I think that some of them are some sort of demonic, old world tech that's left over, and I think that they're playing around with it. But I think a lot of what we see are spirit entities. They're shapeshifters and stuff, and I'm catching them again. I stopped seeing them in 2005. I prayed it away. I was seeing this shit all the time, capturing pictures, and now I'm capturing pictures and videos and stuff again. But I'm not focusing on it because that's going to be the grand deception. That's going to be the very next thing that happens. Maybe not the very next thing, but it's right up there. And it may happen. It's going to happen, in my opinion, between now and 3.5 years from now. There's going to be a huge UFO deception and aliens. And people, if you think about it, 10 years ago, nobody believed in aliens. You were a nutbag.
Oh, there goes my Zoom. Joey, I'm going to start another Zoom chat, and I'll give you guys all the link. Anyone can join. 1 second, folks. I don't know if anyone was required to type in a password.
Hello. Hello. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I was just gonna say, Christian, they've been pushing this shit on us for so long now. You know, since like the 1950s on TV and stuff. Even before that, you know, like H.G. Wells and stuff like that. Um, so it's been going on forever, and they've been pushing it on us, and now everybody believes.
Yeah.
Everybody believes in aliens. They can't. More people believe in aliens probably in the U.S. than believe in God.
I think this alien invasion thing is going to come a little quicker than we think.
Well, that's
Yeah.
what
You
we're
know,
seeing at the
just
moment,
be
I think, yeah.
prepared for everything. Don't just act like it could happen right now, because like there's all kinds of stuff going on, and the reason they're covering us, besides all the other reasons, is
Right.
so they can hide what they're doing, and they're in place. So whoever they are, you know.
Right. And then that satellite train, the ISS satellite train, or what is it, Elon or SpaceX? The
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
satellite train.
Starlink.
We don't know that exists. I don't know what it is. People are taking pictures of it all over the
I know.
place. I have so many friends that have seen it. Some
I know
people
what it
say
is.
that there are 20 of them.
I know what it is.
People say there are 100.
I know what it is.
And-
There's actually there's about at the moment there's probably about 500,000 up there.
Gee, who?
Um,
Jerry.
They've also said that 100 of our stars have fallen from the sky. What the fuck's going on up there?
It's
These
the
are lying signs
entities.
and wonders.
It's the entities setting up to come on in.
Right, right. And I've seen them. I don't know.
And we're not going to be scared.
Some of my pictures and videos of those things up there. I don't know if I shared them with you or not.
I've
Just
seen
before
some
I'm
of your
gonna have
pictures.
to go because I need to get my dinner. But I think what Elon Musk is doing, if you think of it as Skynet, Starlet, a sort of he says he's trying to make us all have the internet all over the world. But what he's actually doing is putting a net over us. So because the internet is up there, guys. When the internet was found, it was connected to already there. And then if you go back down the line, the CIA used to use it in dark web and all the internet and so forth and so forth and so forth. But what happened if you followed the trail all the way back? When they discovered how to use computers, they looked for let's try to figure out how to do this. And they connected to something that was already there.
That's pretty interesting.
These entities are digital, and that's how they come to you through this.
And they
that's
were
how they're coming
waiting
through
to be
CERN,
called
through
on.
digital.
They couldn't do anything until they were
that's how
a host
they
in
travel
their
through
body.
Well, that would also give rise to what people have been saying about your brain not necessarily being the contents of all your memories and stuff like that. All of those could be stored, and our brains are really just transmitters.
They say
tap
that
into
every
it.
time you get into the water, every time you get into the water, it takes a memory from you. So it takes a download. So when you swim in water, you go swimming in the sea. When you come out, there's a download of your memories in that sea because you leave something behind. Now that could be. I've done a few things in where I submerse myself and try to think differently, and so there is stuff like that goes on, but there's only certain parts. But I don't want to be freaking anyone out, you know what I mean? It is what it is, you know what I mean? What are we gonna do about it? We can do nothing about it, but just look up and enjoy the light show.
You're telling us because more people need to hear this.
Hey, Joey.
Well,
what's
yes,
up,
sir.
Joey?
Yes, sir. Well,
How
thank
you
you for having me
Joey
on.
Rocha.
Love you
Mr.
guys.
Rocha.
Hey, Joey Rocha. I love Joey Rocha.
Jeff-Lou.
Wow, cool.
That's right. Yeah, this is epic. Epic times. Epic times. Carla, I love you. Karen Ann, I love you. System Failure. Voynich, Mr. GQ, I love you. I love everybody in chat. This is epic time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's happening for reals all around the world. We're all experiencing it. The economy, all this crazy stuff. We all know it's some type of hoax at whatever level. And yeah, all we can do is just do what we're doing. Keep on staying informed. You know, see what's going on. You know, it's
Let-
pretty epic.
Let's say this is a reset. Won't it be cool if we come back from the reset and there's no funding for NASA?
You know what? That's like, you know, yes, it would be. And people talk about the Q movement, and it's like this big, like either controversy, yeah or nay. But there's other variations of that. You know what I mean? Just like with everything, there's one basic thought that's saying, what if there are people that are, forget the Q for a minute, but what if there are good people that are, you know, soldiers that are taking care of, you know, Disneyland's all shut down, the prostitution is shut down, the bars are shut down. You know what I mean? Like
Casinos are shut down.
Casinos
Yeah,
are shut
have you
down.
seen pictures of
Churches are
Las
shut
Vegas?
down.
No transgenders reading books in schools shut down. You know what I mean? So I mean, we're bred in the truth community to look at the downside of everything, but we don't know everything, and maybe there are some. I mean, all we can do is be hopeful. You know, so who knows?
Yeah. Yeah, who knows?
Love you, Voynich.
Joey, did you hear what I said earlier, though? Fucking abortion clinics are still open. They're still
Wow.
running regular business hours. They're not shutting them down.
Oh,
So
I,
tell
got,
me
I heard.
what's
Medical.
I heard some news though that it's been slowing down though, and that it may come to like a emergency only or something like that.
People won't have money to pay for them, so they won't be able to get them.
Well, you know, they'll still try to make it.
I just
free
want
if
to
they
say
can,
one
but-
because
Go ahead, Mark.
I'm gonna have to go and get
Bye,
my dinner,
Mark.
guys. So I just want to say one thing to you. This is what I have behind me. It says, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. Bye.
Thanks.
One more thing. This behind me. This is Serenity Prayer. If anyone knows a Serenity Prayer,
Right?
I do.
yeah. We know the difference. We know the difference, you know.
Yeah.
So that's what's behind me, and that's what we should just know the difference between fake and real, you know.
Yeah.
And we do. So listen, without doubt, I'm out. I may go get me pizza, but thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah,
Really,
thank
really
you,
Bye,
great
man.
to
Mark.
meet you all. Voynich, I love you. You are
Peace,
great.
Mark.
With peace out, guys. Have a great show.
Peace.
All right. See you soon.
See ya.
Peace.
Keep it
Hey,
flat.
how do I close this? Hey, keep it flat.
Hey, Voy, can you hear us?
I can hear you, but I don't think you can hear me, can you?
Yeah, we
We
can
can
hear
hear
you.
you, boy.
Oh, cool. Oh, cool.
Hey, dude, my big props to you, man, my man, with that mask going through the store and everything like that. No human
right.
contact. that was amazing, dude. I love that.
You know, I didn't even freak people out. People just accepted it, or they just saw me and they didn't want to look. But
Yeah.
you know, I see their faces. I know they want to look because it looks quite odd.
Yeah.
Mike Keeley.
Yeah.
It reminds me of
that's-
Pink Floyd,
Right?
like The
Oh,
Wall or
yeah.
something, you know, with all those guys marching with those masks on and stuff like that.
Right.
I just thought you were like something out of Pink Floyd.
Right?
I said he looked
I
like Spy
requested-
versus Spy.
Yeah,
I
Yeah, it
Spy
does.
versus
requested that
Spy.
last night on chat. Remember, Carla?
What's
Over
that?
at Tommy's. Yeah.
Are you gonna
Yeah,
do
I told
more
him
of
he
those,
looked
Boy?
like Spy versus Spy.
Are you gonna do more of those roaming gas mask walks?
I want to do more of them. I did go out today too with a mask and the hat.
Masker.
That's awesome.
And
dude.
but today I also somebody rang my doorbell, and I think he was how do you say, a police officer that's dressed as a civilian.
Oh, really?
there's a lot of
Undercover?
There's
Undercover
there's
cop?
a lot of them. Sorry?
Undercover cop?
Yeah, undercover cop indeed. Yeah, and so I just don't open up the door, not for anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
You know, not
Michael.
for cops, not for only for my direct neighbors. I will open up, and maybe my mother, and the rest can just die outside. Really, I know
Yeah.
I know what they want from me. They want me to submit. They want me to succumb, and
Yeah.
That's what's
that's not
happening,
gonna
yeah.
happen. And they
I'm
want to
sorry.
influence me with like, oh, people gonna be scared of you. You think people gonna be scared of me? And the television is okay, and the media is okay, but when I dress up, people gonna be scared, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm wearing like a 70-year-old outfit.
It's not any worse than what they dress up like now.
Yeah.
Right?
I'd rather see a guy wearing some nice clothes like you than a SWAT team.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean,
Coronavirus is a
you were
hoax.
Exactly.
styling, dude, with the fedora and the leather jacket. I mean, that's who I want to come to save me. That Hey, Michael, can you hear us?
Who's in there? Michael,
Michael?
Healy?
Michael,
Michael
Healy?
Healy in the hizzle.
He had to
Hi, Mike.
Wait.
he had to postpone his wedding because of the coronavirus,
Oh yeah.
which
Several
is
of my friends' kids have had to postpone their weddings. And now
Goodness
they're
gracious,
wondering if
great
it's
bowl
going-
of virus.
Oh,
It's
nice, dude.
Ebola.
Flu.
I mean, it's the corona.
Hey, Joey, maybe you can
Great
answer this.
ball of virus.
Karen was talking about viruses yesterday, and I know you got a hold of some of the science here. Like, how could you have a non-living organism that works off of a reproductive model that can reproduce itself? Like, how in the world can if a virus is a non-living, it is a biological thing, right?
Yeah.
A virus,
Not
or is it?
bacterial.
The short story answer in layman's terms is the coronavirus is a hoax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all know that.
A
We all know
virus is
that.
not
Right.
bacterial.
But all viruses in general are they living things, or are they the leftover remains of living things, or how in the world can a non-living thing reproduce? Like, if I looked at this rock for a long time, there's no way that rock is just going to reproduce, you know?
Is it nanotechnology?
I don't know, but it
Nano
seems
robotic
like
technology?
it seems like it
It's
doesn't
nothing.
fit
It's
into
just story
any.
writers.
What's
It's
that?
just story. It's just story writers. You know, it's just they write a story. It's absolutely nothing. I mean, nobody's. You know, even if somebody is declared, just like with cancer, if somebody's declared dead from cancer. What
Yeah.
does the autopsy report say? Oh, that hospice stepped in and gave him morphine. Or if somebody dies of the supposed, you know, whatever they have, and they take them off life support, they blame it on that thing as opposed to the life support. Just like somebody who dies because their arteries get clogged with cholesterol. Well, the cholesterol wasn't the bad guy; it was the good guy. It was trying to repair your arteries because there was something else wrong, you know. So they just trick us with everything. But the bottom line is, it's just a story, you know, and everyone's fallen for it. So now we're in this trap. Like, even though we know the truth, they're more powerful. What they've done, they've shown their power, and they're about to shut down the whole world.
Yes,
and,
they are.
And we're at their beck and call now. That's just the honest to God's truth. Now
Enter
we
the
are.
demon invasion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did
Yes.
you guys ever see that movie, Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skulls or
Yes.
whatever?
I
Okay, do you remember the German chick, the
Yes.
Nazi chick, or is she Russian? The woman
Russian,
that, yeah. Okay, well, that Russian woman,
No.
you know, when they finally go into that cave, and all of the crystal skulls are back on the heads, and she says, "I want to see it all. I want to know it all. I want all the
Yeah.
answers. I want to see it all." I feel like that's where we are now. We've been digging around and digging around and digging around, and we wanted this knowledge so bad. You know, we felt like every time we get a little piece, we wanted a little bit more, and we want to see it all. And it's like, man, I wish I could just take that skull off of that body, put it back where it belongs, and never be where I'm at right now. I want to go back to a time before I started digging into the truth, when life was just simple and things were
we were
easy,
chosen.
and we didn't know all these truths. I feel like I'm like her now. I've seen too much. My head's about to explode. My heart's about to explode. I don't want to know any more about adrenochrome.
We
and
are gifted
babies.
hun.
I know that it's a gift, honey, but it feels like a curse right now.
It's
Preach
not.
it, Carla. Preach it.
It
It's
does.
it-
I mean, doesn't it, guys? I felt like it was a gift for a long time.
when the struggle gets hard, and how do they say, the struggle is the blessing, right?
Yeah.
The struggle that's
Yeah.
just that, it's just like that.
And,
So
and
we struggle, and we avoid the struggle until we realize the struggle is the blessing. Look at the rich people who believe in the lie. They're not struggling, but they have to lie
No.
every day to themselves and everyone around them. And that's the only way that they can keep rich.
yeah,
I mean, it's a blessing.
But
This
Voynich,
is,
what if it turns into the Hunger Games? You know what I mean? Just like for fun, hypothetical thinking. You know, everyone becomes third world country. Even the rich, supposed rich people. You know what I mean? Like they're not rich anymore because
I
if the
see
economy
us
fails,
as
everything
games
fails.
now.
listen, there's no way that people, I mean, if you think about it, even if they do the martial law, after a certain period of time, the human spirit's going to rise up and say, we're not going to, we're not going to stand for this. And, at some point, groups will get together, they'll come out of their houses, they'll start doing things, and I think everyone here in this chat and part of this community realizes that they were put here for some reason that maybe they had no idea what it was leading up
We
to.
talked about that last
We're all
time.
the modern day heroes.
It's
Yeah,
like
we
we're
talked
putting
about
together
that
all
last
these
time.
pieces to the puzzle, and then all of a sudden they pull the picture off the puzzle, and everyone's looking at it, and it's like, that's I think why we're here, so that we can connect the dots for people and to keep
Help.
some truth alive through all of this deception and keep it moving forward. Keep the discussions going. Keep the Fockers on the front lines fired up, willing to talk to the press and the media about what is a hoax and what is not a hoax. And slowly, this event, just like 9/11, is going to have a certain percentage of people that just will not buy it. And they're like, I realized that I lost my job. I lost my husband or my wife. I lost all this crap. And in the end, it was all for nothing. I'm not buying it anymore. I'm reconstructing my life in a way that is sustainable and suitable to God. And, that's the kind of stuff that I did in 2004, 2005. It was a real inventory, a moral inventory, and like, what do I want to do with my life? Because I now realize I'm being played like a fiddle in this whole thing, and that essentially started a journey that has brought me to here.
Yeah.
We're here.
We're
We're
here
right
now.
here, right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Day by day, it's like a very fluid situation. But the thing is,
It doesn't seem real.
it doesn't seem real.
No, it's
it-
like
you know,
a movie.
Honestly, that's what me and my wife keep on saying. Like, we know it's real, 100%. You know what I mean? Flights are canceled. I work in the industry where I know a little bit of this stuff too. We
We're
all do.
falling
Yeah, and
so
it's-
far from.
yeah,
We're falling so far from the world that. Whoa!
Yeah.
The more we see the world, it's like, whoa, where am I?
yeah, it's insane.
Think about
Ugh.
all the people that are losing their jobs because of this, and all of a sudden, all of the faith that they put in the system, it's been ripped out from under them,
Yep.
and that's going to wake up a
Yep.
lot of people. A lot of
It's
people
going
are
to be
going
a change no matter what comes out of this. If we come out of this still kind of okay or whatever the outcome is, there's going to be big change. You know what I mean? Huge change, and like
Oh yeah.
who knows what's going to happen.
If we come out of it,
What if
though,
the
Joey,
worst? What's that?
if we come out of it, if this is not the beginning of the tribulation, if this is not the start, if we don't hear the trumpets, if the seals aren't broken, some of the seals aren't already broken.
God didn't say there'd be Braxton Hicks labor pains. I don't think.
God
You
didn't
know
say
what? You know what?
what?
Also,
Braxton Hicks, the pre-labor pains before
Oh,
labor.
right. Yeah, he didn't say there would be a test
No.
to, before the tribulation.
No.
And the blink of an eye, think about it in the grand scheme of things, how quickly this shit has happened.
Oh,
It
yeah.
has come in the blink of an eye. It was overnight. Our entire world has been turned
Yeah.
upside down. From the very first day that they started talking about it here in the United States. This is worldwide, so I have a problem believing that all of it was created by man, to all of it was created by man to control us. I have a little bit of a problem with that. I don't feel like this is possible on this scale. The entire world, every single country, and all the people that would have to be involved, or people that are smart enough to say
Greed,
no.
power,
This
money,
is not
greed,
right.
power, money, greed, power, money, greed, power, money.
And then in the
Yeah.
Bible, if this is biblical, which my perspective is biblical, a lot of people says biblical and different, but the biblical version of it is, I can debate anybody right now that all the signs of Revelation have been met. I can debate you easily because even the plagues that they talk about, the plagues, if you look it up in the Bible, it could be talking about 5G. It doesn't have to be an organic plague. It can be an
Really?
artificial plague too. So I mean, I can go down that whole line, and then also I can go down the locust and everything. You have to rely on, are the videos true? But I saw locusts covering cars, dripping like leaves in India,
Yeah.
the Middle East. And so, anyways, also in the Bible, in the Revelations, I think Revelations 13, it says that in the end times, God Himself says God will confuse people, and then it goes further to say that the ones that are already, for the end times that have the salvation, or the ones that are chosen or whatever, we all know it, and then maybe those people, they're the ones that are going to be, not chosen. Who knows?
Hey,
Yeah.
have you?
But I
God's
think
not
this
the author
could
of
be
deception,
Revelation.
though.
I think this could be Revelation, because
Oh no, we've been talking about that, Joey, and I agree.
All the signs are there.
100% that we are. I think we're at the beginning
Deep in
of
the night.
tribulations. I think that what we're seeing now, we're noticing more, but I don't think that the
So
seals
do you
have been
think
broken.
the world will see it different than us? Like, we see it as, hey, if you're going to lock down the world, you better bring it on. And the rest of the world's going to go, oh, okay, well, it was just a scare this time again and forever. But do you think that they won't think about it? Oh, get a little money from the government for their little discomfort and let life go on,
Right.
the new life, but just let it go on. I mean, because they better bring it on. They just cut me off Social Security.
Yeah,
I
them-
just went, wow, look
The
at that.
money
Karen
thing's
Ann,
a distraction.
How about Denmark? Denmark and the mark of the beast.
The mark, yeah.
Yeah,
We talked
yeah,
about that
fine.
last night.
How
Wow.
weird
That
is
tripped
that,
me
man?
out. I
They're
never thought that.
implanting. They're rolling it out in Denmark, right? That's the first country that's going to get mandatory chips.
Let me see
and
this.
vaccines.
Cool.
Hey
As
guys,
we
I gotta get going. If this is the apocalypse, it's nice knowing you guys. Okay,
Hey,
It's
wait,
been a
whoa, whoa,
blast,
whoa!
Joey.
If
I'm
this
just
is,
kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm not going nowhere.
if this is, if this is the apocalypse, the hey, how about people waking up possibly if let's say the nurses and doctors play a heroic role and start to give pictures of their hospitals being empty, no one in the beds, and start really laying out the reality of the situation. Do you think a bunch of people could wake up and say, "Oh my gosh, the whole medical system is completely fraudulent," and
Right.
like
Yes,
in
but
on the game?
but nobody would do anything about it. That's the thing.
Yeah.
The honest to God, the honest fear is, even myself, if they quarantine it to where everything's quarantined, look, they're letting out prisoners on purpose with no home to go to. The police are out there in full militia, 5 p.m. curfew. Honestly, even me, to protect my family, I'm not going to go out there because I'm not stupid unless I have other friends that are out there. So the fear factor, brother, like, they've got us by the balls on this one.
Yeah,
And all
dude,
we
they're
can
doing
do-
it in my state and in New York. They're doing it right here in my state. Sanctuary cities are going to be the first ones to do it. So you think about the people that are going to be let out, and the criminals that are in Chicago that they're going to be letting out, criminals that are in what's the big prison in LA?
What
You've
is
got
wrong with people?
MS-13.
2020.
And
And they're doing homeless sweeps. They're doing homeless sweeps like crazy. You know what I mean? They're doing homeless sweeps. They're just like, I mean, and here's the thing too, we all know this, what could be going on after curfew when all of us are too afraid, maybe not all of us, but a lot of us, most of us are too afraid to go outside, do what we're
The
supposed
homeless,
to do, stay
the
inside.
homeless,
What are they going to do to all them? They're gone, or whatever
the
they want
homeless.
to do.
No. The homeless and the prisoners make a perfect army because they're
Exactly,
they're
brother,
low-
exactly,
Hey,
Boynette, thank
hey,
you.
because they're below society. Nobody wants them. So for them to take justice in their hands, they would love it.
I could see them letting all
all of
the
them,
whatever
but
they
most
want.
of them.
Do whatever they want.
marijuana charges out, but you're gonna just let killers out? No.
Well,
Yeah,
everything they
of
do
course,
is for.
of course, Karen
it's
Ann
obvious,
Preston,
yeah.
they want killers. They want killers. That's
This
an
is
army. An army
crazy.
is based on killing.
If
course
they're
they want
gonna
killers.
if they're gonna
I
have
wish
to
Michael Healy was president instead of Donald Trump.
Michael Healy.
Michael is frozen, so he's about as useful as Trump.
Is that why? I thought he had a silly look on his face. I thought he had a silly look on his face the whole time. I was thinking, what is this guy like trying to like? You know, is he smoking shrooms?
He's pretty stoic, but not that stoic.
Okay. He's not always like that. All right, makes more sense. I've been preparing though for the worst, for the very worst. You never know. You know what I mean? Like for the good, you have to prepare. For the bad, you have to
He
prepare.
wants
This
us to
apocalypse.
prepare.
I've already been preparing for apocalypse. I'm like, you know, getting bigger and beefier, and you know, like.
But he's in
I'm
charge.
I'm mad
Our
dogging my
father's in
neighbors.
charge. Our
I'm mad
father
dogging my
always-
neighbors and my dogs. I'm not even calling them by their name anymore in case I have to eat them. Like I'm ready for this thing.
Wow.
I'll tell you, it is a good
I'm
time.
just kidding.
And I do believe that the system wants us all to like fold up and turn
heard that on Gypsy
into complete waste cases. And I think the best thing we could do is to like do the opposite, which is to strengthen up, get all the toxins out of our body.
Yes, sir.
Just keep focusing on good
Get healthy.
things to keep any kind of influenza at bay, and get strong and focused, and that's
Focus.
what they don't want us to do. That's because
Focus. Yeah.
they want us to get all confused, right, and run around like chickens, right, with our heads cut off, and meanwhile, I've got lots of friends that are, looking at this as just like massive partying, right? Just like, oh,
My grandkids are acting like that. Come on, not both, all of them, but one is. I mean,
What
come on.
happens?
Not.
What happens if they do the quarantine, like whatever, and it's just for 2 weeks, and then also the internet goes out? That would be crazy.
Yeah.
I
Because
might do my dishes.
yeah,
I'm expecting that something like that might happen, just because they'll say
too.
that they can't get the people into the work to repair the lines or something like that, right?
exactly, brother. Yeah.
Sounding on her computer.
Yeah.
Hey, Karen Anna, I don't know if you knew this already, but I follow your work on Facebook a lot. I love your stuff.
Thank you.
I know you have
Thank
lots of fans. I know you have lots, and so it's like it's hard to keep up with everybody. You know what I mean? Because you're.
I know, but I just
Yeah, I
love
love
to.
your stuff.
I look outside a lot, and I'll do more if I had a better camera or something. But I love it, and I love to post in it, and that shows everybody, what's going on here means
I
what's
love that.
coming to you.
Hey,
Well,
Joey,
coming from you.
you ought to give Fight the Flat Earth a call and see how he's doing in these times. Like,
Who?
remember that debate that you had with Fight the Flat Earth or whatever his name is?
Yep. Fat the flat girth.
Fat the Flat.
something
So
like FTFE. Yeah.
give him a call and be like, hey, how's all that stuff working out for you? You pretty convinced we're still on a globe?
Yeah, I'm convinced that he is, 90% sure that he is. What are those people called NPCs or something like that?
Yeah.
He ain't no normal person because, like Red's Rhetoric, FTFE, McToon, a few of these people are, they're not normal people. You know what I mean? There's something wrong with them. So he'll never be convinced because even the example he gave, like, for example, the reason why I always ridicule him when I'm on a show and people are like, Joey, behave yourself. I don't behave myself because his only goal is to say stuff like he tried to give an empirical proof showing 1,000 miles being measured on a topographical chart. 1,000 feet, and say that since he detected curve on 1,000 feet, that supersedes all the other, thousands of miles of footage. And so he's intellectually dishonest on purpose.
Yeah.
So that guy, brother, Christian, that's why I told him, remember, brother, I said, what's the science of your receding hairline?
Yeah. He's like,
Brother,
tell
I've
me
debated
the-
him 3 times. You should hear what I call him. And I've debated Mick Toon because I think those guys are real life enemies. So I just, I just tear into them. Because,
it's obvious that they're speaking from some kind of like speaking point. Like
Yeah.
it's an agenda that they
They
have.
just want to hurt. They just want to hurt people with
Yeah.
with lies. They're just here to hurt you with a lie.
Yeah.
And the more we react to these people, the more you
Right.
feed them, and they
Right.
have absolutely no goal in life.
But they're too
other than-
stupid. They're helping us. That's the thing, Voynich. I agree with you 100%. But just like, I use the allegory of the Scarecrow and Dorothy in Wizard of Oz making faces at the tree to get apples. We know that that's what they are. We still like go on their show and win over their audience because, you know what I mean? They think that we're going to like go away because they're going to embarrass us. But we're proud of ourselves afterwards. That's what they don't realize. So
Yeah.
they're only helping us. They're too stupid to know it. But, but right now it's like, what do we do? Because it's
We're
not
here
about
for
we gotta
each
throw our
other.
people-
So right here, we're like the dirty dancing community off the stage. And we're here, talking to each other to what can we do for this person or that person. And this is great because, there's people that I reach out to and you reach out to that other people reach out to other people they like,
I think that's a great point, Karen. That this is going to test our networks.
Carla's back.
This is going to test our networks that we've built. And
Yes.
just like this network that we have of people and
This is epic.
all the different networks that we have, this is going to basically put the burden on the network for us to all lift each other up. All the people that have gotten fired, it's really going to take all of our neighbors and everything like that to really help all of these people that have lost all this stuff in order to get through, And so I think it really is going to be something that unites us in a big way. And if we don't let our networks fracture and fall apart, and we keep building them, and we keep building them larger, and then we start connecting networks, like there are groups of people that I was never really connected with, but then you become a friend of someone who has a network that all of a sudden you've united your networks. Look at what Stavely is doing. He's got people from all these different walks of life that are coming in. And he can go
he knows
live.
he's a bridge, and that's good. And
yeah,
yeah,
and it's the linking of all those networks that happen really fast to the point that the network is so big that there's a critical mass of people that realize what is going on. We're all leaning on each other for support, and you realize that the system that surrounds you is really nothing compared to the strength of the people that you're connected with,
right. We all have something for each other. Carla and I have been talking, so that's a wonderful thing right there.
Yeah. It and like I said, it's amazing that they chose to go after Fokker with this thing because they picked the wrong rascal to mess with. He
But
if he
Fokker stays
plays
cool,
his
right?
What's that?
He plays it cool. When I saw, I
Yeah.
didn't see the whole video, but he's really cool about these when he addresses people like where are the sick people, and when you hear this woman answering, she's just totally nuts. She
Yeah.
doesn't even answer him.
No.
But he remains calm. But he's lit inside, man. He's fired up inside. I know.
Yeah. And honestly, he's got the guts to basically, you've seen videos of him going to town hall fighting parking tickets,
Yeah.
right? Think about this. Think about them messing with his business. They picked the wrong dude because, like, if he actually plays his cards right and he keeps his cool and he keeps putting out valid points for people to digest, there's going to be 60% that mock him, 20% that are ambivalent, and 20% that are on his side that are saying, this dude is saying something that's resonating with me. And all of a sudden that person's part of Fokker's network,
Yeah.
and I think he can rebuild from a yoga studio into an amazing platform of people that are on his side. You know,
Yeah.
it could be a great time for him, even though he may be looking at this as the worst point in his life. That's the way I looked at it back in 9/11 when I had a business that I was unable to kind of like sustain it because we didn't have enough revenues coming in. So it was something that had been nagging me for a long time. It was like, here we have this great technology, but where are we going to get the revenues and everything like that? And when 9/11 came around, I didn't want to necessarily close the doors and put 30 people out of work or whatever, but you know, we were all prepared for what might happen. We were a startup, right? And we were funded by the venture capital community. So when it did happen, it was something that was really almost like a weight had been lifted off my chest. And you know, it didn't even affect me that much because my dad had just died like 2 months beforehand. So I was already in the mode of like, I need to actually make a different path in my life that I don't even think it's going to be here in Massachusetts. It took me to California, to the Bay Area. And it's really weird because I had just built a great house and I was living this great life on 13 acres. And I just like, it was everything that I would have imagined that I'd want for myself in my late 30s or what have you. And I just packed it up and I moved to California and I got myself into a whole different headspace where I no longer was attached to all these assets that I had built up in my life. I had let go of a whole bunch of stuff and I was now living freely, you know, in California. And this was all post 9/11, so I was able to kind of digest what had happened that day, and in a way start a journey with my life in a different direction, you know. And so it's hard when you're in the thick of it to see how this could be a blessing. But I think Mac will look back on this time and say like, wow, this was the start to something amazing in my life.
It's an amazing opportunity for him, you know, to wake people up because he's going to appeal to a certain kind of people.
Yeah.
Well, and yes, he is going to.
Look, he's been bullhorning people left and right, driving around with a car that says the earth is flat.
Earth,
people drive by him and he engages people in a conversation right there on the highway. And they look at him funny, and he goes, "You got no proof. You got no proof, right? You know." And that's he's gonna take this, and he's gonna bring this to another huge level because that's what they're all knocking on his door now. They're saying, "I want your perspective. I want you to tell." And yeah, they're gonna make fun of him. There's gonna be a certain number of people that make fun of him, but guess what? In the process, he is going to get a whole bunch of people to realize that it's not insane to have people do yoga during the flu season.
Right. Hey, can I mention something real quick?
Yeah.
Before we run out of this session, I like at Valiant One what she said.
Yeah.
About the sigils. That our emojis are made by the sigil. Who is? Let me read that again.
The sigils, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think I'm going to use no more emojis for me, myself, and I. Because I don't want to use anything.
All the time.
Everything we go against what is mind control or just pertaining to praise to them and using this heart because they made it. You know what I mean? Anything I can do.
Right.
Just saying, you know, I didn't learn about sigils too much until Big Sid brought it up in Richie.
How about logos? You know, the whole idea of logos is kind of like casting spells and stuff like that.
And one other thing, Circle K, Family Dollar, all these big buildings, they're all the same colors almost now. The red and the orange, all their colors, they're all being universal now.
Yeah. I see that, definitely.
Sorry, I
Is
didn't mean
Michael
to.
not able to leave the chat? He's got that big circle balanced on top of his head.
He's like an angel from above.
Ow, my.
Oh,
Oh, the fallen angel Michael.
oh, wow. Yeah, he's got that thing balanced. That's too funny.
That
It's like
is-
the number 8, like 8.
I think he's in the chat too. He's
It's
probably
all about-
listening to us joke around with him. But I'll tell you
That's
what.
funny. Look.
Let's do whatever. Oh, I lost you guys. Let's do whatever we can to keep this dialogue going. You know, like what Stavely was saying. Just keep the live streams going. I'm gonna hang up from here in a second, and you know, someone else pop on and just like keep this going round the clock, because I think that's what we need is like 24-hour support from folks. Yeah, it does, Voy, that does kind of, at the end of the timer, 40 minutes, it just shuts down. I think they actually give you another like 7 minutes or something. Oh, yeah. Can you feel it? Let's add a little ambiance here to this. Get it? Fat. Fat. Hey you, out there in the cold, getting lonely, getting old, can you feel me? Hey you, standing in the aisle with itchy feet and faded smile, can you feel me? Hey you, don't help them to bury the lie. Without a fight. Hey you, out there on your own, sitting naked by the phone, can you touch me? Hey you, sitting on at the ear against the wall, me. Hey you, would you help me to carry the stone? Open your heart, I'm coming home. the worms ate into his brain. Hey you, out there in the road, always doing what you're told, can you help me? Hey you, out there beyond the wall, breaking bottles in the hall, can you help me? Hey you, don't tell me there's no hope at all. Together we stand, divided we fall, we fall, we fall, fall, fall. Together we stand, folks. Divided we fall. Thank you guys for hanging out. I might come on later, jump on the line and see what's going on. Seems like during mainstream hours, I only get 40 minutes on the Zoom chat, but it was really great to see everyone for that. It's easy enough to keep opening those up, but I think also after certain hours, they no longer restrict, so we could do long-term Zoom chats and keep streaming the truth. So for now, thank you guys all. I'm out.